Good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your evening metal update, and this is July 14th, 2022. So, in looking at the markets, we're probably ready to get some form of short covering going into the weekend. I just don't see an awful lot of new data coming out to hurt the markets. I'm not bullish in the metals, but enough's enough where you can get a bounce, and that's what I think we're at. So, be careful with it if you're pressing the short side at this point. Let's continue on here and take a look at what we've got. So far, gold's down about 2% for the week. Okay, the bearish pattern is still there. You had an outside day up. You took out that day's low today. That's often a sign of bearishness. What the reversal would be is if you took out the highs of Wednesday. Again, that would give you probably a good boost in the short covering. So that's the number I'd be watching at for tomorrow. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's something I'm watching. When you look at the marketplace in the swing line, you have a lower low, higher high from this high right there, and there's just not a lot of trend that you can do with that. Moving averages, you'll get back to them if you get the short covering we've talked about, but there's nothing friendly right here in these moving averages. It's the Bollinger Band that you want to look at. When you hit Bollinger Bands, you often get a bounce. Now, this is a form of the Gorilla Glue trade that we talk about. You hit the bands. Notice how that's just happening here as you're hitting them. You get away these 2 days and you come right back for them again. So you put it back in the pressure. What's causing that? What's causing that is the slow stochastic is embedded. Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, take your cursor, move it up all the way to the top here, just like you see me doing on this computer as I'm out of town. And what do you do with it? When you move it up there, you're going to see an icon. It's going to take you to our Bollinger Band course, the enhanced course. 13 video chapters that teach you how to work with Bollinger Bands, how to work with them with embedded and non-embedded slow stochastics. There's two things you have to learn to work with them. It'll give you what I call your master's degree in this. It's going to take you to a level you haven't seen in Bollinger Bands, and one that I think will stick with you regardless if you trade futures markets, spiders, ETFs, stocks. I use it on everything, and it really pays good stead for me. The gold-silver ratio, we've come up and we're backing off just a little bit here, but nothing of importance. In the silver, today I was telling traders to cover shorts. Right down here. How much of it? Well, at least half the position, because you can bounce. So be careful in that. That's what my paid subscribers got to see, and they're seeing how that trade worked out. We threaded the needle, to put it mildly. It doesn't always work that way, but that was a hell of a good trade. In the copper market, you're still with an embedded reading. And here's my fear in the copper market. I'm reading about China having problems now in the home industry, the condos, let's call it. As the developers in China build, they sell, and when you buy a condo, you don't start paying a mortgage upon taking delivery. You buy it at the time that they start constructing. And as such, your mortgage payments occur then. Well, the problem has been that home values are falling so hard and so fast that the investors, the people that have bought these either to live in or to speculate on, you never quite know, they're walking away. If that's a big event, it's going to hurt the banking industry in a major, major fashion. I'm hearing about it, which means it's already picking up momentum. And that is something that I'm reading about, and that is not good. If this continues to happen, then in China you got their zero-tolerance COVID policy. You got people walking away from homes that use a lot of copper. Mr. President Xi is putting in billions now into infrastructure. He did a bunch today. I think it was $1 trillion or something that he's putting into that. The market's not bouncing. The market's not accepting what he's doing just yet. He's going to have a rough time at his party's conference. I think he has single-handed guided his economy into a problem. Now, let's talk how big of a problem while we're at it. I'm looking at a number of different things from the EIA, OPEC, other places that think that the Chinese economy is still going to grow 5% this year. That's a big number. So as much as I knock it, 5% growth is a heck of a number. In the platinum market, you've come down to the lower band and you just keep running them. You're embedded. The hard rally, the word is hard rallies. I think you want to look at selling, but I'm not interested unless you give me enough of a rally where there's some meat on the table, not just laying against the band and selling into that. In the palladium market, I thought you'd yesterday get back to the 18-day average today. We talked about it. I said, boy, you got close. Let me just show you this. Will you hit the 18-day average? I was pretty happy with that. And so today what the market did, it said, yes, Ira, your wish is my command. And up the market goes, hits it. Now, it didn't take this out. Are we still going to be bullish or not? You have to get back over 1930, let's call it 1935 on a close, in order to tell me, yeah, the market wants to keep the upside bias, a corrected and overbought condition, and pulling back. The next part that I think I want you to look at is the dollar index. Now, this dollar index just keeps latched on to the upper Bollinger Band. That's that Gorilla Glue trade with the embedded reading. This comes undone if you get a reading in the slow stochastic under 79. I'm not looking for it at this point. Can it happen? It certainly can. Do you ever buy an upper Bollinger Band? Never. You're buying the breaks if you can get them deep enough away from it to try to get up to that number. You're not buying it. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing. I'm Ira Epstein. I want to remind you, take that enhanced Bollinger Band course. Just move your course up here, your cursor up there. Take a look. At least read about it. You'll see what I offer. I think it'll stick with you your whole trading career. I'm Ira Epstein. Have a great evening.